color sleeve is often the first open guard people learn when they start Jiu-Jitsu, and yet it's also very commonly used at the highest level. In my opinion, here is why. Let's start from the beginning. How do you even get there? The sleeve grip is probably the easiest grip to obtain in open guard. Your opponent reaches with the hand, you grab the sleeve. From there, you have time to build. Throw an half lasso to block the shoulder, then you will have time to reach for the collar. But what makes this guard really interesting is its balance. Every guard shares the same problem. To limit your opponent's movement, you have to limit your own too. Collar sleeve is a good middle ground. Your opponent will always have options, but most of them are predictable. That's what allows you to funnel them into what you want. Main point of attention. I talked about this in my Omoplata video. The main thing you need to focus on is the knee and elbow space. Even a small gap can allow you to climb to attack the upper body with your legs. You can also use it to catch the hips to end up in close guard. As you face more experienced players, you will need tricks to open this gap. We will cover this later in this video. A quick word on grips. Try to keep some tension on the sleeve grip. Don't pull as hard as you can, but don't let them reach for the collar grip. The collar grip will help with distance management. You can frame the collarbone or pull the head down with it. To understand how to play this game, you need 3 tools: lassos, the lariva, and an active secondary leg. These tools aren't independent. They respond to each other depending on what your opponent does. The lasso is your upper body tool. Combined with the collar grip, it creates a solid frame against the shoulder. And if your secondary leg gets neutralized, the lasso will help you to retain your guard, especially if you end up in HQ. There are 3 kinds of lassos. Most people call the half lasso shallow lasso. This nomenclature seems more coherent in my opinion. The deeper you go, the more control you have, but the harder it is to undo and get back to a more dynamic open guard. My take, the half lasso is a must. The rest depends on your style. Use it when your opponent is driving with their shoulders, or when you end up in HQ. The shallow lasso can also be the default position if you cannot put a de la riva hook in. The lariva is your main lower body control tool. The hook helps you to off-balance your opponent and to make him less mobile. Don't forget that an opponent thinking about the base is an opponent thinking less about the knee-elbow space. Another advantage, breaking the de la riva hook without using the hand can be pretty hard. You can use the hook to generate an angle on your opponent. Same thing, the top player will try to square up and can forget his knee-elbow space. You can also force him to go to combat base, but we'll talk about this later. Use it when they drive with the knee or when they squat down. This is the trickiest of the 3, and it's usually the weakest link. Once your secondary leg is out of the game, you're pretty much in defense mode. The secondary leg helps you to twist and climb the upper body to look for submissions, to create off-balances by kicking the thigh, and how you open up space. Leave it passive in the collar sleeve and you'll be just surviving. Okay, let's look at some attacks now. Triangles and omoplatas are the main threat from color sleeve. Again, both depend on one thing, the knee-elbow space. When that gap opens, you have a window. The omoplata is simpler to initiate. You only need to sneak one leg through. Triangle asks for a bit more. You also need to free your secondary leg from the pen grip to lock behind the head. I did a full video on the omoplata if you want to go deeper. The De La Riva overhead sweep is great when the opponent drives forward to have a strong knee-elbow connection. Use the hook to flank them, and if you can scoop your hips underneath, you can execute the sweep. Obviously, you can also execute most De La Riva sweep if you let go of the cuff grip. The loop choke shows up when your opponent tries to bulldoze through your guard. Easier against a kneeling opponent, and it requires them to be fairly close, but when it lands, it's usually a nice catch. The other option is the collar drag into a single leg. Your secondary leg kicks the far leg while you drag the collar and sleeve to the side. It puts you in a strong wrestling position. And this attack connects well with the upper body threads. When the opponent bundles up to protect the knee-elbow space, they become vulnerable to this kick-out motion. When you're very active with your secondary leg and you're off-balancing, the top player will often go to combat base to catch their breath. That's where the deep De La Riva hook comes in. With the right angle, you can catch it even with short leg. Last point, the same side variation. A small grip change, with a few notable effects. The guard becomes harder to pass. With a hard lasso, both shoulders are blocked. But upper body attacks get trickier, no loop choked, less traction on the omoplata arm. This variation makes the guard more defensive overall. With a deep lasso on the tailbone, it becomes very sweep oriented. Okay guys, doing voiceover is not the easiest thing to do for me, hope you liked it. Let's look at some live example the old fashioned way now.